There's something important I want you to understand. Being available does not guarantee you'll be recognized. Too many people think that just by showing up, just by being around, doors will open for them. But availability without value is invisible. Think about it. When you walk into a store, you don't buy every product on the shelf just because it's there. You choose what has value to you. The same applies in life. People don't invest in you just because you're around. They invest in you because you bring something worth having. Some folks confuse attendance with achievement. They think, if I just keep showing up, something will happen. No, my friend, nothing happens until you add value. You could sit in the same office every day. You could hang around successful people every day. But unless you contribute, unless you bring solutions, your presence will fade into the background. And the truth is, people won't even notice you were there. I remember someone once said, if you're not adding value, you're taking up space. That's harsh, but it's real. Life is competitive. Opportunities are scarce, and people are always looking for those who can make a difference, not just those who are simply available. Think about the workplace. You could have two people in the same position. Both come on time, both stay late. But one of them is constantly learning, constantly improving, constantly finding ways to make things better. That's the one who gets promoted. That's the one who gets remembered. The other, they get overlooked, not because they weren't available, but because they weren't valuable. Being available is easy. It costs nothing. But being valuable requires investment. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and the courage to go beyond what's expected. When you show up, ask yourself, am I just filling a chair? Or am I bringing something that will matter after I leave? People who only show up are replaceable. People who bring value are unforgettable. You see, availability is passive, it waits. Value is active, it creates. Availability says, I'm here if you need me. Value says, here's what I can do for you right now. One is optional, the other is essential. And if you want to rise in this life, you must become essential. So let me leave you with this thought. Don't just show up. Prepare. Build your skills. Develop your mind. Strengthen your character. Because when you carry value, you don't have to beg for recognition. People will seek you out, opportunities will find you, and your presence will never go unnoticed. Remember this, availability might open the door, but only value keeps you in the room. Discipline is the foundation of value. It's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. You cannot build value around convenience, because convenience will always choose the easy way, the comfortable path, the shortcut. But discipline chooses the hard road, the narrow path, the one less traveled. And that's why discipline produces results that convenience never will. Let me tell you something. Convenience is seductive. It whispers, sleep a little longer, start tomorrow, do just enough to get by. And when you listen to it, you may feel comfortable, but you won't feel accomplished. The person who depends on convenience ends up average, because convenience never requires sacrifice. And without sacrifice, there is no growth. On the other hand, discipline doesn't care about how you feel. Discipline is not emotional, it's intentional. Discipline says, do it anyway. Discipline shows up when you're tired. Discipline works when nobody is watching. Discipline studies when friends are partying. Discipline invests when others are spending. And because of that, discipline creates value. People may not see your discipline immediately, but they will see the results. Think about an athlete. Anybody can show up at the gym when it's convenient. But champions show up every single day, rain or shine, whether they feel like it or not. Their discipline is what makes them valuable, what makes them stand out, what makes people pay attention. The same applies to your career, your relationships, your education, your purpose. If you only operate when it's convenient, you'll never separate yourself from the crowd. Convenience makes promises it cannot keep. It promises you ease, but it robs you of excellence. Discipline, on the other hand, demands pain in the short term, but it delivers power in the long term. When you live a disciplined life, people can count on you. They trust your word. They know you'll deliver because your actions are not dependent on your feelings. That's value, consistency, reliability, excellence. Don't ever confuse talent with value. Talent may give you a head start, but only discipline will keep you in the race. The world is filled with talented people who never went anywhere because they relied on convenience. And it's also filled with ordinary people who became extraordinary because they chose discipline. So here's the truth. If you want to be valuable, you must discipline yourself. Discipline your thoughts because what you think shapes what you do. Discipline your time because wasted time is wasted value. Discipline your habits because they create the person you become. Discipline turns you from optional to essential. Convenience will always make you replaceable. Discipline will make you unforgettable. And when you are unforgettable, you are valuable. Knowledge and skills are the true currency of value. The more you know and the more you can do, the more doors open for you. You can be the most available person in the room. You can be the hardest worker. But if you don't grow your mind and sharpen your skills, you limit how far you can go. Because in this world, effort without expertise is limited. But effort combined with skill, that's unstoppable. Let me break it down. Knowledge is what you learn. Skills are how you apply it. One without the other leaves you incomplete. Knowledge without skill is theory without practice. Skill without knowledge is strength without direction. But when you combine the two, you create power. Power that multiplies your worth. People pay for solutions, not presents. And solutions come from knowledge and skills. Think about it. Why does a surgeon get paid more than a general practitioner? Why does an engineer get called when a problem gets too complex? It's because they have specialized knowledge and refined skills. They invested years to master what others overlooked, and that mastery multiplies their value. The same applies in every field. If you want to rise, don't just show up, level up, study more, practice harder. Sharpen yourself until you're the best at what you do. The mistake too many people make is thinking that passion is enough. Passion is the fire, yes, but skill is the fuel. You can be passionate about singing, but if you never train your voice, nobody's going to listen. You can be passionate about business, but if you don't study strategy, finance, and leadership, your passion will not pay the bills. Passion gets you started, but knowledge and skills keep you going. Now, here's the truth. Knowledge is everywhere today. Books, podcasts, courses, mentors. There's no excuse. But knowledge only becomes valuable when you turn it into action. That's where skill comes in. Skill is knowledge tested. Skill is knowledge refined through practice, through failure, through consistency. You don't become valuable by knowing, you become valuable by doing. Every new skill you learn adds another layer to your worth. It makes you harder to ignore and harder to replace. People respect versatility. They respect competence. They respect mastery. And when you bring that to the table, you don't have to beg for opportunities. Opportunities come looking for you. Let me leave you with this. The difference between average and extraordinary is often just a few skills. The person who can lead and communicate, who can solve problems and think critically, who can adapt and keep learning, that person is valuable anywhere they go. So don't stop learning. Don't stop practicing. Keep multiplying your worth because the world rewards the valuable, not just the available. Character is the foundation of value. You can have knowledge, you can have skills, you can have talent, But if people can't trust you, none of that matters. Because trust is the real currency of opportunity. People don't just hire talent, they hire character. They don't just follow intelligence, they follow integrity. And without trust, doors will close faster than they opened. You see, character is who you are when nobody's watching. It's the choices you make in silence that speak the loudest in public. A man or woman of character doesn't cut corners. They don't lie to get ahead. They don't betray others to look good. And here's the truth. Character is not proven in the spotlight. It's proven in the shadows. And when you live with strong character, people notice. They may not clap for you every day, but they remember. And when it's time to choose, they'll choose you because they know you're dependable. Trust is fragile. It takes years to build, but one careless decision can shatter it. That's why people with character stand out. They understand that reputation is earned slowly, but it pays back endlessly. When people trust you, they give you opportunities that others never see. They put you in rooms you didn't ask for. They recommend you when you're not even in the conversation. They invest in you not because you're the most talented, but because you're the most trustworthy. Look around the world today, and you'll see people with great talent fall from the top, not because they lacked skill, but because they lacked character. They cheated, they lied, they cut corners, and when trust was broken, everything collapsed. On the other hand, there are men and women with average talent, but extraordinary character who rise to the top because people know they can count on them. Understand this. Character is consistency. It's doing the right thing even when it's hard. It's showing respect even when no one else is giving it. It's keeping your word even when it costs you. And when people see that kind of consistency, they trust you. And when they trust you, they'll hand you opportunities bigger than you imagined. Your character is your passport. It can take you places your RA never will. Skills may get you an interview, but character gets you the job. Talent may earn applause, but character earns respect. And respect opens doors that money can't buy. So if you want to become valuable, guard your character like treasure. Build trust with every action, every word, every decision. Because opportunities don't come to the most available person, they come to the most trustworthy person. And the truth is simple. When you have character, you don't have to chase opportunities. Opportunities chase you. Potential is a powerful word, but it's also a dangerous one, because potential alone doesn't guarantee anything. Potential is only possibility. It's what could be, not what will be. The graveyard is full of people who had potential, people who had talent, people who had dreams, but never put in the work to make it real. That's why hard work is the bridge between potential and value. Without hard work, potential is wasted energy. With hard work, potential becomes power. You can have the gift of intelligence, the blessing of creativity, or the strength of natural talent. But if you don't discipline yourself, if you don't work, those gifts will stay locked inside you. Hard work is the key that unlocks your potential. And here's the truth. Nobody will respect your potential until you show results. People don't pay for what you might do. They pay for what you can do. Think about athletes. Every year, thousands of young players are called the next big thing. They've got potential, but only a handful ever make it to the professional level. Why? Because talent without work is a liability. The ones who make it are the ones who grind, who train before the sun comes up, who practice when nobody's watching. They turn raw potential into refined value through effort, sweat, and discipline. Hard work is not glamorous. It doesn't always get applause. Sometimes it means long nights, silent sacrifices, and pushing yourself when no one else believes in you. But that's the price of turning potential into something valuable. Hard work doesn't ask for comfort, it asks for commitment. And the reward is simple. You become the person others depend on, the one they call when the stakes are high, because they know you've put in the work. Potential makes people curious, but hard work makes people trust you. When you've worked for something, people see the difference. They see the confidence, the consistency, the results. And results speak louder than potential ever will. Don't fool yourself into thinking that potential will carry you. Potential is a seed, but hard work is the water and sunlight that makes it grow. You can sit on a bag of seeds your whole life, but you'll never eat the fruit unless you work the soil. That's the lesson. Value comes from cultivation, not imagination. So let me tell you this, don't just be called promising. Don't just be labeled as talented. Be known as the one who put in the work. Because hard work turns what you could be into what you are. And once people see the results of your labor, your value will speak for itself. Real value is proven in the face of problems. Anybody can show up when everything is smooth, when the path is easy, when the sun is shining. But true value is revealed in the storm. When the pressure rises, when the obstacles look impossible, when everyone else is stepping back, that's when valuable people step forward. You see, most people run from problems because problems demand responsibility. Problems require effort, creativity, courage, and sacrifice. It's easier to point fingers than to roll up your sleeves. It's easier to complain than to create solutions. But here's the truth. Nobody remembers the complainers. They remember the problem solvers. Think about history. The names we celebrate, leaders, innovators, pioneers, are the ones who faced the problems others avoided. They looked at what everyone said was impossible, and they dared to find a way. That's what made them valuable. They weren't just available when times were good. They were present when times were hard. And because of that, their contribution stood out. Being valuable means taking ownership. It means when something is broken, you don't just say, "That's not my job." You step in and ask, "How can I fix it?" Valuable people don't wait for perfect conditions. They create solutions in imperfect situations. And when you do that, people notice. They say, "That's the one I can count on. That's the one I trust when the pressure is on." Now, here's the thing. Solving problems isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it means failing, learning, trying again. But every time you face a problem, you grow. Every time you solve one, your value multiplies. And eventually, you become known as the person who delivers answers, not excuses. That reputation is priceless. Opportunities don't always come wrapped in celebration. Sometimes they come disguised as problems. A challenge is nothing but a hidden door to promotion. And most people miss it because they run away. But the valuable ones, the ones who step up, who think differently, who take the risk, those are the ones who walk through the door and find themselves on a new level. Let me make it plain. You don't get remembered for avoiding problems. You get remembered for solving them. People don't hire you just because you're nice. They hire you because you can handle what others can't. They don't call you in because you're available. They call you in because you're valuable enough to bring solutions when nobody else can. So don't shy away from problems. Don't run when the pressure rises. Lean in, step up, bring answers. Because being valuable doesn't mean being present when it's easy. Being valuable means being essential when it's hard. And the person who solves problems others run from will never be overlooked. Presence is not enough. Just being in the room, just being on the team, just sitting in the meeting, none of that earns respect. Respect is given to those who contribute, to those who bring something that matters. Because the truth is, anybody can be present, but not everybody can make an impact. Contribution is the difference. Think about it. If you walk into a classroom, every student is present, but only the ones who study, who engage, who answer questions, who add to the learning, those are the ones the teacher remembers. In the workplace, you may have 10 people sitting around a table, all equally present, but the one who speaks up with ideas, who offers solutions, who takes responsibility, that's the one who gets noticed. That's the one who earns respect. Respect doesn't follow position. It follows contribution. Titles can get you in the door, but contribution keeps you in the room. A leader without contribution loses influence. An employee without contribution loses opportunity. A person in any environment who adds nothing will eventually be treated like nothing. Contribution is not about being loud. It's about being effective. You don't need to dominate the room. You just need to bring something that moves things forward. Sometimes contribution is innovation, bringing a fresh idea that changes the game. Sometimes it's effort, going the extra mile when others stop short. Sometimes it's service, helping others succeed so the whole team wins. Contribution has many forms, but it always adds value. Here's what you need to remember. Presence is invisible without contribution. You can attend every meeting, you can show up at every event, you can be part of every group. But if you leave nothing behind, your presence won't matter. People respect the ones who leave a mark, who add something meaningful, who make others better by being there. Now let's be real. Contribution requires sacrifice. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort. It means doing more than the minimum, going beyond what's required, giving even when you don't feel like it. That's why not everyone contributes. Some are content just being present. But those who decide to contribute separate themselves from the crowd. And here's the reward. When you contribute, you build credibility. People trust you, they remember you, they look for you. Your name carries weight because your presence is backed up by results. You stop being just someone who was there and become the one who made a difference. That's respect. So hear me, don't settle for presence. Don't just fill a seat, don't just stand in the crowd. Contribute. Give. Add value, because presence fades, but contribution leaves a legacy. And when you consistently contribute, people won't just notice you. They'll respect you, they'll seek you, and they'll remember you. Legacy is not measured by how long you were around, but by what you left behind. Too many people think that just because they've been present for years, they deserve respect, recognition, or remembrance. But time alone doesn't create legacy. Impact does. What matters is not the hours you showed up, but the difference you made while you were there. You can spend 20 years at a job and still leave no legacy if all you did was show up, punch the clock, and go home. On the other hand, someone can spend just 2 years in the same place and completely transform it, raise the standard, inspire others, and leave a mark that lasts long after they're gone. That's the difference between showing up and adding value. Legacy is tied to value, not longevity. Think about history. We don't honor people because they simply existed for a long time. We honor them because they changed something, they contributed something, they left the world better than they found it. Legacy is about impact. What you built, who you influenced, how you inspired, what problems you solved. Your presence might be temporary, but your contribution can be permanent. Here's the truth: life is not a game of attendance. Life is about influence. People will not remember how many times you were in the room. They'll remember how they felt when you walked in. They'll remember the wisdom you shared, the help you gave, the example you set. They'll remember your value, not your schedule. And legacy doesn't have to be something massive like inventing technology or leading nations. Legacy is also in the small things you do consistently. The way you treat people, the way you carry yourself, the way you live with integrity. Sometimes your greatest impact isn't in the big stages, but in the quiet moments when you inspire one person, encourage one soul, or open one door. That ripple spreads further than you can see. Now let me warn you, if you focus only on being available, you will fade when you're gone. But if you focus on being valuable, your impact will speak even when your voice is silent. That's the power of legacy. You can be gone from the room, gone from the workplace, even gone from this world, but your name, your influence, your lessons, those live on. So the question is not, how long were you here? The real question is, what did you leave behind? Did you leave excuses, or did you leave excellence? Did you just show up, or did you show up and make a difference? Because legacy is not about time, it's about transformation. Live in such a way that when people speak your name, they don't just remember that you were around, they remember that you mattered. That's value, and that's legacy. At the end of the day, the message is simple. Don't just be available, be valuable. Availability may get you noticed for a moment, but value will make you unforgettable. Value isn't handed to you. It's created through discipline, sharpened by knowledge, proven by character, and multiplied through hard work. It's revealed in the problems you solve, the contributions you make, and the legacy you leave behind. Anybody can show up, but not everybody can stand out. Anybody can be present, but not everybody can make an impact. The world doesn't reward presence, it rewards value. And if you want your life to matter, if you want your name to carry weight, if you want to leave something behind that outlives you, become valuable. So don't waste your time waiting to be noticed. Build yourself, discipline yourself, sharpen your skills, guard your character. Put in the work. Step up when others step back. And when you do, you won't have to chase opportunities. Opportunities will come chasing you. Your life is not defined by how long you were in the room. It's defined by what you did while you were there. Make your presence count. Live with value, lead with value, lead with value. Because when you are valuable, your life will never be forgotten.